watched the Suge Knight documentary, and it's I don't really, people like to call people bullies and shit like that. I feel like that just be a particular way of saying that stay away from that nigga. Really? Like, but in reality, nah, real talk. In reality, when we talking about success and the level of not complete independence, but running your own company, being an executive in this music industry, Suge Knight's name should be top 3.
Sure.
Yeah. Top 3, easily. And I feel like with the power that he had, they say absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Maybe he might have got a little big-headed, maybe things might have got a little bit out of hand, but what he was doing as far as like a black entrepreneur, off the scale. Nobody's done that since, as far as I know.
Mostly what I hear from him, the downside always sounds like ego. Sounds like sometimes your ego gets carried away. You start thinking that you can, and then when you get to a certain level, they say money reveals you. It doesn't change you. It just shows who you actually are. So if you start pissing on people and shitting on people, and I don't mean literally pissing on, but even though that's what
they say. Beat up, leave them in the closet for like 2 days.
If you start disregarding people, treating people foul, treating people fucked up, then you only putting smut on all the other good shit that you do. And now your good shit has to outweigh the shit that you're doing when you're in power.
Right.
And the problem is who you are with power is who you actually are. Who you are without power, that's you in survival mode. You're doing whatever. Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, I got you. No, give me 2 minutes. I got that for you. No, if you just give me a minute, I can pull it off. No, just give me a minute. All sounds good when you ain't got no power. When you up, yo, God, I ain't doing it. Now what? Matter of fact, you do blah 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 blah. That's who you've always been.
Nah, I don't think that's how it turns out, bro. I think when you're in power, you just become the victim of everyone's want to believe that there's something wrong with you.
That's not true.
That is true. It is true.
That can be true, but that's not 9 times out of 10 what you see.
But I'm telling you, on an uncanny level, when you look at black men who've become very successful in America, like they locked up Bill Cosby over 40-year-old pussy, bro. Like, come on, son.
He just got a new charge.
Just being real. This shit don't make sense. You know what I mean?
Don't.
But people will want to believe something. Oh, he's so successful, there gotta be something wrong with him. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because there's something wrong with all of us. All of us have something that we've done that's
but
foul.
Not
but like
with the shit that they saying, nigga. They said I'm Illuminati. I be fucking
that's
with y'all.
You keep
but
doing this.
Illuminati.
You keep doing the hell.
This is unity. This is Trinity, man.
You be asking for it. You keep doing this.
Brooklyn, nigga. How many pictures I took with Jamaicans doing this shit?
You can stand there and do this. It's unity. Hey,
now I'm starting to think these motherfucking leather chairs. Black
nigga feel a little Illuminati.
That nigga back, man.
Welcome to you in. No, but real talk, like, but there's like extensive videos of like classified idiots just coming up with all different types of theories on how I'm part of the Illuminati now.
Yeah, stupid narratives.
And I'm just looking at this shit like these niggas will make up every excuse to not be successful. Like it's like I grinded to get to this position.
Okay,
we're not under nobody. This is an independent entity. What are you fucking talking about? Like
I would take that as a compliment.
Nah, I don't take it.
Because he'd be like, you know what? They doing so good that it gotta be something else.
I get it.
That's.
But I hate that. That's usually where people go. Like when Jay-Z was on top, there's all types of rumors. Oh, he's gay. He's this. He's that. Like, why does it have to be that? Why do people have to believe something negative about you when you reach the top?
Because it doesn't. Because power doesn't come. Power, influence, money, etc. It rarely ever comes clean. You're not running from Illuminati. That's not your crutch. Mm-hmm. When I'm having conversations and your name comes up, you know what you're running from? And you're not even running. But you know what comes up? You know what the smut is?
What?
He punched people. He's violent. He does this, that, and the third. That's what comes up about
now
Math.
I run a talk show.
When it's Jay, when Jay was on top, what's the first thing they shot at him? No, He's an ex-drug dealer.
Yeah.
He's an ex-drug dealer. What does he know about this, that, and the third? That's the smut that you're trying to. Whereas when it comes to families when it comes to some of the more popular families who are like American royalty, everybody overlooks the fact that they all started out as criminals. Tons of them started out as criminals. Rockefeller was a bootlegger. Shout out to
Bloomberg. Read his book. He was breaking. I don't even get
Rockefeller sold the crack and heroin of his day. It was liquor. It was outlawed by the government. They were selling that shit, and he was selling it hard body. They caught Capone selling that shit. The only thing Capone didn't get loose from was his taxes. And you know what taxes? He didn't pay the right person. He didn't pay the right person to do his books good enough. But they busted him doing. Everybody who comes to power, nobody gets there clean. There's going to be somebody who has something to say about everybody. I've done business with people and I've given the money back. I didn't do the job good. Here's the bread. Here's everything you paid me. Forget about the time I spent. Here. I just don't want to hear it. You got it. I didn't do it. Here. Still had to hear about it like 2-3 years later.
A lot of these niggas is insecure because they didn't make it.
And they leave out the fact that I gave them the bread back.
And that's why I think it's more of an excuse.
Yeah, that's so they insecure.
Failures.
They failures, so they want to throw their failures off on you.
It's easier to say you gay, you had to do something to make it that way, and that's why I'm not in the position that I'm in.
It's insecurity.
Niggas don't want to work hard though.
That's true too.
They don't.
Or they didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, they insecure because they didn't make it. How he made it and I didn't.
But everybody gonna always have their opinion on somebody who they don't know. The difference now is that it's just the evolution of technology, and trolls and people are able to make their own.
It don't even be an opinion, it just be hate. It don't even be an opinion, it just be straight hate.
It's any black person who threatens the infrastructure of what existed already or what is in existence is automatically gonna be a threat. And they're gonna paint a narrative of you to make you look crazy. At any moment, and when you start to evolve into that power, Suge, for an example, right? Suge was all about independence, about putting people on, this, that, and the third. Yes, he had certain ways that he would go about it, right? To make sure you understood what the fuck he was saying, and that you took him seriously because you didn't take him seriously before. But now the narrative that's gonna come out about him from the powers that be is gonna be like, he's a bad guy. He's a villain. We need to shut him out. We need to put him in jail. We need to get him the fuck out of here.
You know,
and that's going to happen with any black man that comes into power, or woman.
Suge went left at the Source Awards when he decided to diss Diddy.
You think that's where it started?
That was gangster though.
I know for a fact.
I like that. That was gangster.
Of course, y'all from LA, y'all like that shit.
I like that.
For a fact, because that was like one of the purest examples of hate that you can find. Diddy wasn't even dealing with you on no business level, on a personal level.
Nah, he was. They was friends.
Not in public.
The East Coast nigga would say that though.
Did he?
Wow, really? I'm saying that because I'm.
But they was friends.
But the problem is, like, when you hate on somebody, that's where I think his perception started to go. Like, yo, everybody loves this dude, and you mad at him, and you won't even say why. You just shitting on him at an award show, and that has nothing to do with anything. He's literally not doing anything to you when you picked his name out of a hat because he's up.
I don't think he just picked his name
I don't think it was. I don't think it was because he was up though.
I'm telling you what the perception is. I'm not telling you what it actually was. I don't know.
It wasn't because he was up.
Like.
It's just, typical light skinned nigga shit.
Why you pointing to me? Nigga, look at me though. Fuck you, man.
I just felt like this. I'm just saying, you light skinned niggas be hating, man. Light skinned niggas be hating.
I think it's because Bad Boy was buzzing at the time. It was on the East Coast, and Suge had LA, and Death Row was buzzing over there on the West Coast.
Suge is selling more records because he's that area is bigger. You selling more records, you making more money, and this dude's getting all the love. This dude's getting all the press. But
Big said he wanted to sell records like Snoop.
But you can sell tons of records on the West Coast. The problem is the East Coast is the media capital.
Right.
So all the press is here. At that time especially. Right. All the record labels, all the networks, all the magazines, they're all based over here. Right. So of course he's everywhere. And it just looked like wild jealousy. Now that's what it looked like.
But you gotta understand
only what it looked like.
You gotta understand too. They was trying to start the Death Row East. So I feel like they was like, you know what? We gonna push up and take over the East Coast. And who's the biggest in the East Coast?
Big.
Puff and Big in them
Right.
was. So if they take them out, we got full reign over here on the East
sound
Coast.
like hate. Like instead of
Yeah,
word,
that
ain't
sound
hate.
like
It's not-
that sound like hate, bro.
Nah.
Hell yeah, we trying to take
That
them
sound
out,
like hate.
and then we could take over.
Nah, if you looking at it like war, it's like, look, they
Why
got all
is
that
it war?
capital
Why
over
is it
there.
war?
I'm gonna kill
fighting
these
with you.
niggas.
Why is it war?
That's war.
Why though?
Why is it war?
Well, it shouldn't be war, but it's still war.
But why?
What we spread love,
Look,
niggas.
and
You want me to say because it's hate?
Yeah.
Alright,
Super.
so
Puff wasn't
I'm
trying
gonna
to
keep
do
it
bad
honest.
boy way.
I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what would have been a better idea than that?
Puff
If
wasn't
they
trying to
wanted
do
the
that.
East Coast market, a Tupac and Biggie album.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
That
how
would've been
ill
crazy.
That would have been. Oh my
Big
God.
would have been with that.
That'd have been
Big
crazy.
is spread
Split it
love,
down.
Big,
nigga.
Big would have been
Big
with
would've
that. I believe Big would have been with that.
Right.
Pac wasn't going.
Produced by Easy Mo B. Let Easy Mo B do the whole thing.
Him and
Oh
Dre.
my God! That
No,
would
Dre.
Him and
And
Dre.
Dre.
Oh
And
shit!
Dre. Yeah, hell yeah. That would have been crazy.
That would have been
There-
a monster.
Oh,
So
fuck.
there's no.
But this is my thing. Like, why is it we get to this point and it has to be some sort of clash or competition?
Because we believe the resources and blessings are finite, and we've been taught through years and years, hundreds of years, Jim Crow, the whole shit, that they only let one nigga through at a time. And for me to be the guy, you have to go. And we're the only genre that does that. The Rolling Stones didn't say that the Beatles needed
Right.
to get the fuck out of here
That's
for the
facts.
Rolling Stones to be
It's
there.
real.
Facts. They don't even do a top 10 list.
Aerosmith. No, they do it, but Aerosmith didn't have to say to the roll, yo, y'all got to get the fuck out of here for us to get up. Like, no, we're the only genre that does that, and it's because we've been led to believe that they're only gonna let one through at a time. So your time needs to be up, so I can get on, and you got to get out the way.
Imagine what the
That's
game
why.
would have been
Right
like
on.
right now if Big and Pac was still here. It'll be
Completely
crazy.
different.
It'll be different.
Completely different. Big Pop, Pun, Big L,
Of course, Big
L was cold.
Hell yeah.
and fucking
So-
Jam Master J. Those guys still alive. The whole and Heavy D. Those,
And,
the
and
landscape
we got to throw in
completely
there
different.
Nip too, Nipsey too. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because he was
100%.
But Nip was already moving. Like Nip was.
Nip had a
Nip-
lot of
Nip
love out
had
here.
that-
In
that-
this
he was
city,
doing
Nip had it.
in this
Rest in peace,
city, Nip
Nipsey.
had a lot of love, son.
No, the East Coast love Nip.
Like
Nip
East
was-
Coast, we
Nip
love
was a
Nip on this
throwback.
side.
Nip was a throw. Nip is like
Shout out to Wink.
you know how they say there's certain basketball players who could have played in the '90s with Jordan, et cetera, et cetera.
He was one of them.
Nip could have been. Nip was one of them dudes who could have back in the golden. He'd have shined. He'd have shined.
We all felt it when Nipsey passed. We
Hell
felt
yeah.
it.
Oh, 100%.
We felt it when Pac passed. Y'all was
Facts.
celebrating though. That's fucked up.
When who?
Y'all was
I
celebrating.
was a baby.
I wasn't even
Oh,
alive
okay.
I
yet.
don't even remember. But I can tell you, when
She
Nip
said I was a
died,
baby.
Yeah. Everybody felt
the
it.
fact that when Nip died, everybody from LA, including enemigos of his
Every
and everybody, every hood went and marched and walked together. You know what I'm saying? That is, I would still to this day, you will never see no
not
shit like
happening.
that.
Because Nip
in
was
LA.
on some spread love shit.
Yeah.
That's why he was on the East
Everybody
Coast going
loved
crazy.
Nip.
How long did the unity last?
Probably 2 weeks.
Ain't that a bitch?
Sad, but
No,
even
I feel like
even that 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, that's still like, it's amazing to see that. Because you don't see that. And even having his funeral at the Staples Center,
Yeah.
like that's big.
That was crazy.
That's crazy right there.
But it's crazy. I'm annoyed that his funeral's at the Staples Center, but none of his concerts was.
That's a fact.
I mean, but unfortunately, our people, everybody give you attention when you gone.
yeah.
Right.
And who's to say, you know, Pac and Biggie and everybody else would be as big as they is right now if they didn't die at the time that they died.
Jada said it the best. Dead rappers get better promotion. It's a
Well,
fact.
let's
We
change
shouldn't
that.
have so much proof of that.
Let's change
That's
that.
sad.
Yeah.
Listen, I want everybody to like just find that part of you that wants that type of change. You know what I mean? And it starts with all of us. Support artists that that you want to support, the artists that you believe in. Don't follow the trends. Don't think, oh, he's not that popular. Stick with him. Like, support. Be a real supporter. I miss the fans. I miss the real fans. Everybody's a fucking critic now.
This Hoffa, trap turned smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard.